Hey, we're live. 40 years on the internet. Okay, let's get into it. No lie. That's how long I've been on the internet. I was one of my company was one of the first websites asked to go online for a company. I can't think of the name. This is in the 80s. They were experimenting with websites. And it did quite well. So it was, they said, we can do whatever we want. We'll put it up there. This is going to be an experiment. The reason I'm saying this is because I've been online advertising my business since the 1980s. And I'll tell you what I've got to say. It's really true. Do not sell anything if you're not solving a problem. So the businesses I had solved problems. I've had several, photography being the main one. The photography one solved the problem of there was nobody in Silicon Valley doing candid wedding photography. There is now, but I can say I was the first one, our company. Everybody was doing these boring, stiff, formal. I even thought, do I have to do that? Hi, Davis. Happy you came over. And I didn't. I had a candid approach to my photography, and it took off because nobody was doing it. So it solved the problem of not having photography that was fun. No one was doing it. Fun and captured the essence of a wedding. That's what I did. And I photographed 725 weddings over 20 years. I had other businesses too, but that was the most successful and the main one where I made most of my money. So what I want to say is I got this. Hi, Tam. Happy you're here. Somebody wrote me a note today saying, oh, do my workshop on Saturday. I'm not going to do a workshop on Saturday. I'm going to be having fun offline to enhance my experience, which is already at the zenith. He said something about liking, I go to Italy every year and it's incredible. So I have no problem with going to Italy. I don't need anything to be solved with that. I enjoy it. I love it. I just finished another photography retreat that I led there in Sicily with 4 wonderful people. If you're here, thank you for coming. So I don't need whatever it is he was selling, and I'm not going to try it out on Saturday when I could be doing something fun. So my point is, if you're selling something, you have to solve a problem. Another business I had before the photography business was a cleaning business here in Silicon Valley, which was very successful. You know why? Because we did an incredible job and we were the only people that could speak English. Everybody else doing it was speaking Spanish. Their work, I'm sure, was excellent. But because of that, we had people waiting to have us clean their house, and it did very well. So we solved a problem. Now, I didn't know that at the time. That was one of my first businesses, the cleaning business. And then I got tired of that and I wanted to do something else. So I said, let's do a photography business because we both love photography. And that took off for the reasons I already told you. So the thing I really want to impress upon people is I don't have a problem with going to Italy every year. I don't need anything to improve that. I've already figured it out. So if someone's going to approach me and tell me that I need to do something more, it's not going to land. So whatever you're doing in your business, solve a problem. You hear it over and over, but it's absolutely true. Every single business that's been successful, well, those were the 2 most successful. And photography is not an easy business to be successful. So You have to solve, the harder the business is to be successful at, the more particular you have to be about solving a problem that people have, and you're the only one that can do it that way. So whatever it is that your business is, don't approach people that don't have a problem with it. You got to find the people that do have a problem that you can help. So another thing I do is teach photography. I'm not going to try and teach photography to people that don't like photography. They're not my people. They don't need help. It's as simple as that. So if you have a cleaning business, you're not going to talk to people that don't want to hire a cleaner. You're only going to talk to people with the income that is high enough to pay someone to clean their house. Start there. And who really are looking for someone to clean their house. So how do you do that? Well, that's marketing. But don't waste your marketing dollars and time and effort on people that are not going to buy your stuff based on they don't have the income or they don't have the interest. I'm not going to try and convince somebody to travel if they don't like traveling. I tried that with a former boyfriend. It didn't work. This was many years ago after being married for 20 years. I thought I couldn't convert him to like traveling. It failed. So you can't change people that aren't interested in your product, service, or even in your personal life. I mean, you've got to be able to find the people who you can really help, and don't bother the people that don't have a problem. So, traveling the world is not for everyone. I'm not trying to convert people to yeah, I'd love to see more people traveling, but it's the people that want to travel that aren't traveling because they're scared or they don't think they can do it solo or they think they don't have enough money. You really can do it. And I've been doing it for 20 years in 34 countries. And I didn't even know I could do it like this when I started renting apartments. I've lived in so many different permutations, but now what I'm doing is living in apartments, usually, sometimes in hotels, but only in big cities when I know I'm not going to be able to find the kind of apartment I want. But that's a whole nother topic. But I'm not going to try and convince somebody who would never leave the United States that they should travel and have no interest in doing so. So don't waste your time on the people that they have no interest in traveling. I'm not trying to convince anybody. I just want to help the people that really do want to travel but think they can, or they're scared and they need to break through with that. But a lot of people are not. They're not going to exercise. They're not going to try that new money-making thing. They're not going to do a lot of things. So, and I'm still figuring it out from those beginnings of being one of the first websites on the internet. What I've learned, because my business was all word of mouth, 100% word of mouth. I didn't do any ads. That's when I went online. So I was in that position of not having to do advertising and just having people give my name to others. And that's how I got my photography gigs. And I had to switch to being online. I mean, of course, most of it still was recommendation, not from online, but it's a whole different thing if somebody isn't recommending you. So what I'm saying is, if you're online, you got to show that you're solving a problem, writing about it, testimony, whatever the problem is that the person is having. I can't stress that enough. And I've seen countless over the last 40 years of being in business of people that don't have enough experience approaching me to pay them to do advertising for them, and they don't really even know what they're doing. Um, now, there's a lot of new stuff that you can experiment with. There's this thing, I think I'm going to experiment. It didn't work the first time I used it. It's called Zeely. They're not paying me, but it's this AI online advertising thing, which you put your pictures on and they do ads for you. I mean, you want to try different things, but don't ever forget that you still have to go to industry events, meet people, take people out to lunch, and solve problems, whatever the problem it is. And then when I started doing photography exhibitions, one-woman exhibitions, I've done 11, and I've had people buy my work, a lot of it. And what I learned from that is the problem people were having is what to put on their walls. So totally different than doing a wedding photography shoot. This was, how can I make my bare wall look good? Okay, I'll buy your picture that you took in Machu Picchu. That was a whole new education because it was solving a problem on how to decorate their home in a beautiful way. They made a connection with the picture. And then I also found, listen to this is important. When I gave a talk at my exhibitions, I would sell more. So people like the stories about how you did what you did. That was an interesting education that I didn't know before. Hey, thanks for being here, Davis and Tam. I really appreciate it. I'm going to jump off in about 5 minutes. So if you have any question, I just wanted to make that clear that whatever your business is, make sure you're solving a problem. Journal notes from Jamaica. Happy to see you here. Solve a problem in your business. And more importantly, if you can solve something that no one else is solving, that only you can solve in that way. So like for the wedding photography, nobody else was doing candid wedding photography in Silicon Valley. And then I got so busy, I gave quite a bit of business away because I couldn't do all the business coming to me. Now they call it affiliate marketing. I didn't get paid for any of that. I just freely gave it out and didn't get it back really because I was one of the top people. So here's what you got to do in your business. You have to find your audience or have them find you. And marketing is an ongoing education. And especially now with this whole AI thing going on and how you can use it to your benefit. And I'm figuring it out too. Because, for example, based on my photography business, people have moved away, things have changed, people have relocated. So the word of mouth thing, it still works. But it's not the same base of people I had, say, 20 years ago. So I actively get new people too for my service. And every single one of them, a problem has to be solved. So say somebody needs a really good picture for LinkedIn, I can do that. Or someone needs a family portrait. Mainly I'm doing those two. Any kind of business or family picture I can do. And I can do it in a fast way that's fun. And even people that hate having their picture taken always say, hey, that was really fun. I like the pictures. That's my goal. Now, not that many people can do that, but the secret sauce is connecting with what you do and how you can solve a problem with what you're doing. And I remind myself of this every single day because another thing that I do is I advise people in solo travel mainly their itinerary, how they can leave the country and do slow travel. And everybody's story is different. Mostly women over, say, 50 talk to me. They may have been recently divorced. They're looking to do a new adventure. They want to go to Europe. They've never been to Europe. I got a lot of experience over there. Asia, South America too. And so the problem there I'm solving is adventure and that they can really do it. Now, there's a lot of people doing that, but I don't know anybody that's been doing it for 20 years. So I have more experience than other people doing it at an older age. I started age 48, 52. I sold everything and kept going and went full time. But I started at 48 and then I found that I liked it so much I wanted to keep doing it. And now I'm 69. I'm going to be 70 next month. And, you know, traveling changes as you get older and you start making different decisions about what you want to do. It always evolves no matter what your age is, but it's still fun and I love it. So solve a problem and see if you can solve that problem in a unique way. But don't sell to people that don't want your stuff and can't afford it. I mean, it's just a losing battle. Now, and I just want to make this point. For the wedding photography, I learned so much about everything with that business, life, marketing. I mean, I didn't really market until the whole online thing. Because it was word of mouth. But what I learned, well, even the people that were word of mouth, why did they pick me? Okay. I didn't get everybody. I got maybe half the people that I would meet and sit down with and show my work and tell them what I do, find out about their wedding. So the people that wanted me why did they pick me? Okay. They liked my work. Yes. But the other unique part of it was I heard them say, I really want you at my wedding. I feel calm around you. And I can't imagine doing it without you. Those were the people that there was a real connection with. So don't ever think your personality and who you are is insignificant because people are going to want to work with you because, sure, of what you do, but they also have to want to like working with you. So that's a big piece of it that took me a long time to realize. So you bring a lot to it with your personality and your spirit. So I'm going to end with that and come on over and subscribe to my channel. I'd love to see you over there. One of my next things I'm going to do is a short workshop on taking trains in Europe, solo traveling. I just did a 1,400-mile Paris, France to Puglia, Italy, just a few months ago. It was fabulous, 3-week trip, and I can show you how to do that. Pretty low cost. Of course, 50% off for people that are my paid subscribers. So come on over. I'd love to see you there. Keep on going, and I'll see you in the next video.